Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be diving into a topic that it's incredibly important and often misunderstood. It's called dementia care. We're going to explore how innovative technologies, specifically the artificial intelligence companions, are revolutionizing the way we support individuals living with dementia. First things first, let's define what is dementia and how artificial intelligence can be a support in this aspect. Dementia is a syndrome that progressively impairs memory, thinking, behavior, and the ability to perform everyday activities. Unfortunately, it affects millions of adults worldwide, and traditional care models often fall off short when it comes about addressing the crucial emotional and cognitive needs for this impairment. Um, why AI and the promise that AI companions are offering to dementia care. This is where AI companions, especially social robots, come into play. They're offering an incredible potential and provide emotional support. They are reducing loneliness and even assist with daily tasks activity, significantly improving the quality of life for older adults in both community and also in long-term care settings. We have, for example, a robot. Its name is Paro. It's a pet robot. And this robot has been initially discovered and used in a Danish nursing home and has shown remarkable benefits for older adults, like lowering the stress level, improving their mood, and even facilitating social interactions. That's right, a robot, right? Social interaction. It was incredibly useful for the COVID period where people were forced to be socially isolated and the family and friends interactions were limited because of this virus that surrounded not just one region but actually the whole world. People felt extremely lonely, and when a person feels lonely and isolated from their social environment, their health starts to decline. And unfortunately, the most affected part of the health that is being affected is the mental wellness, the mental health. And this has been proven to be extremely difficult, especially for patients with dementia, because they have already been dealing with one side of affection, and on top of the dementia symptoms, also the loneliness and the isolation accentuated and exacerbated those symptoms in their body. So we have a research from University of British Columbia that they actually studied with a robot. They named it Kiwi. I know, like the fruit, and Mango, actually. They highlighted how these personalized robots can recognize faces, voices, and preferences. So this type of robots, they allowed tailored interactions that addresses the unique needs for individuals experiencing dementia. They helped reduce the loneliness, and they improved actually mental stimulation by establishing emotional connection. I know you must be thinking like, how does a robot help with the emotional connection? But I had my doubts too, and it actually is able to simulate some of those human interactions that eventually it proved to be very helpful for a person living with dementia. So imagine a robot that can engage in meaningful conversations with you, play a game with you, and even assist you in your daily routines. it's all designed to enhance the mental stimulation and emotional engagement. So another example, we have the Viv, an AI character developed by UNSW, Sydney, Australia. This robot Viv aims to explore, foster companionship, and reflect the person's insight and experiencing, offering emotional support and cognitive stimulation, just like Para Robot. And especially for those in care setting with limited one-to-one human connection, which is extremely important. These people that are experiencing dementia, they are feeling lonely, and they're often feeling isolated from their families because sometimes they feel neglected, even though that's not the case. And it's actually a very frustrating feeling, even for the extended member families, because they had the feeling that those people forgot about them, which it is sort of true, but they're having those moments of clear mind when a person with dementia has those periods when they can actually remember faces and names and voices and sounds, but it also can change very dramatically to the other opposite side, where they completely forget about everything and everybody, and they stop recognizing faces, they stop recognizing voices. So many of us were thinking, like, why AI? Why robots? Why can we not hire actually a person who can deal on a daily basis with those people? All those true, fair questions. Now we're trying to see a balance, how this innovation can be cautiously used in long-term home care, and not just long-term home care, but also in their individuals' homes. Now, I know it sounds exciting to have this AI interaction, but we have to take in consideration both sides of the coin. So while AI companions often offer tremendous positive and potential, we also need to consider the negative consequences and ethical challenges that come in play. One of the major concerns that was brought up to was the potential for errors and a lack of empathy. These robots, unfortunately, they are not unbreakable. They are prone to errors. They are prone to technology issues, and some people might say that they're lacking empathy, which is a characteristic specific to human interaction, from human to human. Yes, AI companions might struggle to understand the subtle context and emotional nuances in older adults' speech. This one making appropriate responses difficult. There's also an ethical dilemma of individual with dementia potentially believing that they're actually interacting with a human when they're in fact they're interacting with a machine. Another significant point that has been brought up is that these robots cannot and should not replace human caregivers. Human interaction, and when I'm saying human interaction, I am referring to love, care, connection, compassion, is absolutely crucial for the emotional well-being for older adults living with dementia. AI innovations can offer valuable assistance, that's true, but they are meant to support, not substitute, which is a vital role for human connection. we are all lacking in this system. Everybody is crying, and they're asking and they're posting everywhere that we are lacking human resources. And it's true, we are dealing with a faulty system that is not playing in our favor, unfortunately. And I personally was kind of scared to think that maybe this technology will take over our jobs in the future. But I want to tell you that you have to rest assured that this technology should be used to come in our help and not to replace human interaction. There's actually, as I mentioned before, some characteristics that these robots cannot achieve, cannot replace a human being. And when I'm saying this, when I'm referring to the empathy, I am referring to looking in that person's eyes and actually empathizing with that person. I know a robot can be programmed to empathize, sort of, but nothing compares to a human touch on the shoulder, holding their hands while talking to them. Patients with dementia, they have fluctuations of emotions, so sometimes they can be very happy and they can be very open and talkative, but sometimes those peaks can drastically come to a decline, and they're feeling to the other extreme. They're feeling lonely, they're starting crying, and they're forgetting who they are. They're feeling they're in a completely new environment, and those thoughts, they're overwhelming their emotions and their mind, and their brain starts to feel clogged, and eventually those people forget who they are. It's sad, I know, but we are not meant to be substituted by technology. And I know technology has its flaws, and here's where I come and say that technology should come as an aid, as an extra support to human forces as well. So we are also talking lastly about the privacy concerns that has been brought. I know that data collected by AI, especially in a healthcare system, it's highly sensitive, and these robots, they are actually at very high risk for breakage, and this eventually can lead to identity and financial theft. This means that the implementation of artificial intelligence must be handled with extreme caution, balancing its benefits with robust ethical considerations and stringent privacy protocols. Now, what is the role of therapeutic recreation? How does therapeutic recreation comes in place? Therapeutic recreation plays a pivotal role here. Recreation therapists, in collaboration with a vast team of nurses, care attendants, and other specialties, work to improve an individual's physical, cognitive, emotional, spiritual, and social well-being. And here I'm talking again about the SPECS aspect of a person. Again, the SPECS is an acronym used for social, physical, emotional, cognitive, and spiritual aspect of a person. When you are tailoring a program, you have to consider all these 5 aspects, and these robots can actually do those things if they're being scheduled to do so. And they are doing this type of things by engaging in meaningful activities. Recreation therapists can provide additional support and resources to individuals living with dementia and their families. They can offer education, organize events such as Walk for Alzheimer's disease, and advocate for dementia friendly communities. They are essentially in creating community based support group that enhances the overall care and quality of life for individuals with dementia. Some activities that they can facilitate include cognitive stimulation, like puzzle, memory games, physical activities for maintaining mobility, and emotional support through group activities, music therapy, pet therapy, and yes, even a robot like Paro fits right in this image because um, so many people, especially when they're getting older, they're starting to develop certain allergies and intolerances. And pets actually have been found that they offer a tremendous emotional support in this aspect. However, considering the older person allergies and intolerances to pets and how what's that word, I wouldn't say it unreliable, but how fast a pet can change its status from being settled and uh, becoming overly stimulated and excited, they can inevitably scratch the person with their paws, or they can shake, they can shiver, they can start to feel threatened if that person comes and hover over their head. And this is where we are trying to avoid those accidents that can happen in long-term home care, because older adults are a little bit more frail. Their balance is at risk, their vision is impaired, and they cannot actually estimate how close an object or a living thing is it's to them. And when they're trying to pet a dog or an animal, they actually can poke their eyes, or they can actually hurt themselves. And we are trying to avoid those things by implementing this robot. And this robot comes with, actually they are coming with some life warranties. They can be, they this warranties can be disputed with the companies that are providing these robots, and they can be replaced, and they can offer unlimited programs that they can be scheduled to do. Again, I'm not advocating to be for these robots to replace the human aspect of recreation therapy, but they offer a tremendous support in these environments when they're lacking the human resources. So, by keeping an open mind, we can ethically and responsibly integrate AI into long term home care and our communities. Like I said before, this will improve the efficiency and safety in the healthcare system while also addressing concerns about privacy, security, and social inequalities. What are your thoughts about AI companions in dementia care? Do you think they will play a big role in this future, or do you think that we can be easily replaced by technology? And let me know in your comments below what you're thinking. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content if you like this. And also, please share your questions, your ideas. If you have any questions regarding recreation therapy, I would be more than welcome and able to answer those questions for you. Have a great day.